Hello? Hello? Well, I'll talk loud.
It's
So
not
I heard
on.
her cry from a big baby. But, so about 20, 21 years ago, I took piano lessons. And my grandma wanted one of her grandkids to learn an instrument. And I guess I was the last option. And I hated it more than anything. And I did not want to do it. And I never practiced. And she paid the lessons and wasted all this money. And so eventually I quit. And ever since then, Jennifer or Julie be up here playing. She's like, see, you could be up there playing, but you decided to quit. So about 6 months ago, this girl put on Facebook where I live that she was doing piano lessons. And like all of a sudden, I was like, I want to take piano lessons. So I wanted to surprise Grandma because I know.
Well, I just praise the Lord.
Because it's so stupid. Ugh. So I'm not no professional. So I've only done it for like 5 months, but I'm trying. And so they're Christmas songs because I was gonna be here last week, but God decided He wanted to snow, so I wasn't here. But anyways, I'm gonna play Silent Night, Away in the Manger, and Angels We Have Heard on High, and then Amazing Grace for the last song. And I'm not singing while I play, even though I really want to do that, but it's really hard. So I'm not doing that. And I might mess up, but it's okay.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm done.
Good morning, how's everybody doing?
Morning.
I don't think I've seen, well, except for a few of y'all, it's been since last year since I've seen y'all.
Yes.
All right, so we got a couple announcements. You know, February's coming around the corner, and we're planning on having a Valentine's Day dinner. So just get prepared for that. And then in July 5th through the 9th, we're going back to camp. So just, I guess it's already open for registrations or whatever for the kids.
I have to pay it, part of it next month.
Well, she said we got paid part of it next month. So we just kind of need to get a heads up on who's all going. And Ethan has lost a pair of earbuds. They're in a black case, so if anybody just so happens to find any, just, I guess, bring them up here and we'll eventually give them back to him. And now it's time for the praise and worship songs. Now the youngins come up here. The first one is going to be How Great Is Our God. And it's by Chris Thomas.
Clothed in majesty, that all the
Next one is Hymn of Heaven by Bill Wickham.
Joe,
What?
can you not move the microphone up a little bit? We can't hardly hear the kids.
We didn't practice that one very much either.
Oh, okay.
Thousand generations. I went off and forgot Hazel's thank you card. So she wanted me to tell everybody, thank you so much for remembering her in their prayers, for the phone calls and the visitation that she got. She's at home right now, and we've got rehab coming over and a nurse coming in. So, she seems to be doing, knock on wood, pretty good right now. But, she wanted me to tell everybody thank you so much for, everything they've done.
And thank you all for your work and your calls. I appreciate it. Still remember Tim and Brenda Joe. They buried their son Friday.
Nobody else? I guess I just ask anybody if they want to come on into the altar and. Alright, now I'm gonna ask Alex to come up. He's got a poem he's gonna read.
Lord, Lord,
There we go.
more than just flowers will grow up in the spring. Young buds take flight with brand new wings. Not too long ago, they just learned to see. There are some miracles in God's brain. There is a lot to do in God's summertime. Fishing in a lake is a favorite of mine. Or sitting on a tree and think of a rhyme of how, if it wasn't for Jesus, there would be no summertime. Cover all the leaves in the autumn of the year. As they fall to the ground, empty limbs appear. A lot of birds fly south for winter is near. God made the daylight shorter in the autumn of the year. Here comes the winter with a lot of cold. Watch out, you may be stepping a foot of snow. I like to think back to Christmas of old as we sit around the fireplace as Jesus' story is told.
Alright, so now, if you got your Bibles with you, I'll be in Romans 15:13, or Romans 15. Alright, this is going to be a lesson about joy. Alright, so this was supposed to have an opening game, because, as a youth leader, I just pick youth lessons. But the opening game, it's supposed to be with glue sticks and balls, and it's supposed to be about being in the dark. So, it's saying, I gotta have them try to catch the balls in the dark without the glow sticks at first. About how difficult it would be without the lights being on, or without being able to see the target, I guess you could say. And then I would have one with glow sticks on it. That way, you could see the light, you could see the target, which, Jesus is the light, correct? So, it says, so when I first asked you, who here thinks it'd be difficult to throw a ball in the dark, or catch a ball in the dark? It'd be really hard, right? Unless there's a ball in the dark. Alright, so it's pretty obvious, and something we learned early on But when the element of light is taken away, it suddenly seemed very difficult. You know, just catching the baseball in the daylight's real easy, once you're used to it. But then once you turn the lights off, it suddenly seems very difficult. Something that just seemed very possible moved into something that seemed impossible just because of the circumstances. It's like that with joy sometimes, isn't it? You know, of course it's easy to have joy when, I guess you say, when life's going easy, it's easy to have joy. But when you take away the good circumstances, joy turns into something that seems very hard, and at times even and sometimes it even seems impossible. But just like the glow sticks introduced a way to make something that seemed impossible possible, I'm going to introduce you to something that may... Baron, I know how you feel. I'm going to introduce you to something that makes joy possible at all times. Even when the circumstances are bad. All right, so in Romans 15, verse 13, now the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that ye may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Ghost. All right, that there is a pretty cool image, isn't it? You know, imagine an image of God filling you with joy. You know, see, that verse doesn't say, may you have joy all the time. It doesn't say, may God help you keep your joy. It says, may God fill you with joy. You know, there are going to be circumstances in your life where you just don't, where you just don't have any joy, no matter how hard you try. Just like throwing a baseball in the dark, you know, there are going to be situations where life seems so dark, where you can't imagine joy being possible. And that's when you have to turn to God. This verse calls him the God of hope because that's exactly what he is. He is our hope, and it is because of that hope that we're able to have joy, no matter what the circumstances are. I don't know about you, but overflowing with hope sounds like something I want to do. And doesn't joy seem like something that would just happen and doesn't joy seem like something that would just happen if you were overflowing with hope? So, you know, yeah, I'm crying right now, but it ain't tears of sadness or nervousness, I guess you could say, but anytime I talk about God, this happens. Just like those glow sticks provided a way to toss the balls back and forth in a dark room, the hope that God gives us provides us a way to be filled with joy when our circumstances seem dark. So, you know, I got one kid that, I'm not going to call her out the name, but she's always asking me, you know, why does bad things happen to good people? You could take it as, you know, look at Job. He never denied God, he never quit following God, but what did he end up losing? He lost everything, but he never cursed God or anything. Then in the end, what happened? He got, you know, it wasn't the same family members, but he got more of a family. He got more cattle, or I ain't sure what animals he had, I'm sorry. But everything that got taken away from him, he got more of back, just because he stayed with God. And what is an example of a way God is your hope? This is questions for anybody to
Oh,
answer.
okay.
What, ask that one more time, Joe.
What's an example of a way that God is your hope?
Well, for one thing, because he's our hope to make it to heaven. You
Right.
know, I mean,
Why is that though?
but, well, because you got his word and he give us a way to be saved and make our way to heaven and my goodness, if that ain't hope, I don't know what is.
And like, you know, when we lose loved ones that we know is living right and is up in heaven, what is our hope to see them again? Or who is our hope to where we could see them again? Right. So there again, you know, if we want to see our loved ones that we've lost, then we got to stick with God so we can see our loved ones again. And is joy something that is hard for you to have sometimes?
Yes, it is sometimes.
Very hard. Like a certain someone says, you know, when you're going through bad times in your life, what's the first thing you start thinking? You know, God, why have you left me? You know, out here I am trying to serve you all the time and you're not helping me through it. Have you ever asked God to give you joy?
Oh, yeah,
So, you know, we ask God for help all the time, but how often are we willing to help Him?
yeah, there's a key there, isn't there?
You know.
You got to.
It's higher the risk, the higher the reward. You know, just like what Brother Davis said about Paul, where he's talking to the parents of this generation. Paul went to prison. So, I mean, you know, he went to prison because he was doing what God told him to do. Even though people back then didn't want to hear it and tried to make it a law to where he couldn't, but Paul still kept doing it. Do you think it's truly possible to have joy no matter what? And there's a lot of people that don't see it that way because they don't have what we have, and I wish they did.
Yeah.
There's a guy at my church, he always says, every day's a good day, just some days are better than others. And ever since he said that, I swear it has stuck with me. No matter how hard some days are, it's always a good day. It's just some are better than others. And like 2 years ago was when Carl got sick. Like, we've made it 2 years. And it's not a house. So stupid. When I cry. Ugh.
I'm right there with you, parents.
So this extra water weight. I'm trying to lose. But I've been doing it for 20 years and it's worked. Anyways. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say without crying like a baby is we were listening to that song, The Blessing by Carrie Job, where they go, ah, man, you know. And they're like, and your children, you know, talking about the generations. And I mean, I hope to God that I have a baby one day, but if it don't happen, that's fine. But these kids nowadays, like, who else is going to be there for him but us? Because, thank God, some of these kids here have Christian parents, but there is more kids out here that don't. And, you know, I got a million nieces and nephews, thank God. Well, one nephew. I got a million nieces. But I'm just glad that I get to be there for them. And even the rest, you know, they don't come to church very often, which I'm not going to get into that. But all we can do is be the light for them. And, you know, if they go to church once in their life, that's once that they didn't, or, you know, that's more than not. what happened, it's just crazy. But anyways, I was just listening to that song and I was like, how can, like, I just want to tell everybody about God, you know, I just want, like, life is so short. You know, you hear these babies that pass away, or my brother was only 29. I'm gonna be 29 in 20 days, not counting or anything. But, you know, like to think that I would be gone at my age and have all this life to live. And I'm just, God's awesome, man. I mean, I just wish people understood.
Amen.
Like, you know, I was talking to Jennifer this morning, I was like, when I tell people I've never been drunk, or I've never been high, or I've never shoplifted, they're like, what? You haven't lived. And I'm like, you haven't lived. I'm telling you, you can have a way better life without doing that stuff, and I ain't judging what you did, you know, it's your past. Don't make it your future. But, you know, I don't know. God rest in peace, Grandpa. Turn it to him, because I can't shut up. But I miss him more than anything in this world. But, you know, I'm just glad to be here. I'll shut up now.
Oh, it's fine. Anybody else? This is God's time. It ain't our time.
Had a street preacher this week we were listening to. He was saying, you tried alcohol, you tried drugs, try Jesus. If you don't like it, Satan will take you back. And that's true. But I believe if you try Jesus and really get in deep with Jesus, you won't want to go back to Satan.
Amen.
Or alcohol or drugs, because you found, you might call it a new drug. And that's the hope of salvation through Jesus Christ.
Well, Joe, I'm just glad that Barry and Carl had to come down with us today. They wanted to be here last week, like I say, they had different plans. But I'm glad that she picked up the piano again, and just glad we all got our own little hobbies. Just thankful for my family, thankful for my church, and just can't be too thankful for everything I've got. I mean, it's just, I'm blessed being able to, you know, this past year wasn't that bad. I hope that next year is even better. A lot of people said they had heartaches and this and that. Well, you know, everybody's got their own way in different times. But I'm looking forward to coming out of them blue doors and forward, and I'm looking back at the end of this coming year, or the end of this year. And been a long time coming. I'll be 62 and 23 days.
Yep.
Who's counting? My dad was 61 when he passed, so I may pass him so far, so I'm doing good. I'm glad. The doctors try to do what they can do. You know, we all take our pills and everything, but the one pill that I take that isn't hard to take is Jesus. You know, he's a medicine, he's a great physician. I'm thankful that I found him when I did. And thankful that he asked me to come into his heart, and when I asked him to come into my heart, and we share that same heart. She gets to crying for me. I'm just surprised I'm not boo-hooing right now. Maybe because I'm so tired. But thankful for you all, for you and Penny. I pray for y'all every night, and pray for the youth, pray for our church. And pray for Frank and his church. I mean, they got a ton of kids up there, a ton. And, anybody that's got kids in their church, I thank you. I'm glad you got them. Because they're the church of today and tomorrow. We've always heard that. But it's true. It is. They are the church of today and tomorrow. And where are they going to hear it if the parents don't take them? You know, I'm thankful that we got some parents here to bring their kids.
So,
I was just gonna say, I'm just really thankful that you're all here. And I'm just thankful the whole time when I was in my surgery, that I just wanted to be able to come to church Christmas, you know, and be able to walk and be okay and not take that for granted. And when I was growing up, my mother used to say, one half the world doesn't know how
shooting happened, and we were way out in the back of the building and way away from where it happened. And I just thank God that He, you know, God protects you. When you're in the storm, He can protect you. And I just thank God for that. You know, I thank God that He, ever since Matthew's passed away, the word peace has been so precious to me. You know, when I'm having trouble and trying to make it through the day, you know, God says, Jill, I'm just going to give you some peace now. And so then I have to settle down and I have to take that peace for a while. And it helps me so much. You know, and it helps me get through the day. You know, there's a lot of things in this world that you can turn to. But ultimately, you need to turn to God. You know, and it's sad that the world can't see that. You know, I hope yesterday when all those people went running out of the building and everything, they thought about their life and what they should be doing with it. You know, I just want to thank God that I'm here at this church today. You know, the devil constantly is trying to defeat a Christian person. He's constantly trying to. It's a battle every day. But I thank God that through that battle, I can have joy. And I just thank God every day that He's given me that joy. And, you know, even when the times are down, I can say, Lord, I have you in the midst of it all. And I just want to thank God for everything He's done for me.
Joseph, I'm one of those people that I can't find my joy a lot of times. I talk to God about it a lot. I don't really know about it. But I don't feel like I have joy. It's like I forgot how to have fun. I forgot how to do anything. But then we come to church and we spend time with our church family. And we have an extended church family. And they don't know how much they give me joy. Just by accepting who I am. Because I'm not the best Christian in the whole world, and I know that. I try to be a good person. I try to follow what God wants me to do. But I don't every day, and I know that. And I know I have to work harder. That's going to be one of my goals this year, is try to work harder at being the person that I need to be. But the people here at the church do give me joy. They give me unconditional love. And that's something you don't get from everybody. Sometimes I feel like I don't even get it from my own family. I know they love me, but I see you all a whole lot more than I ever see them. And they're my true family. But Clay and I'm not going to speak for him, I'll just speak for myself. I know that if I didn't have these people that are in my life and accept me how I am, I would be on that dark side. I know that that's where I'd be because I struggle with it a lot. And I just want to try to be better this year.
I just want to thank the Lord for being here today. Because I am before, I'm not really good with words, but anyways, sometimes I get emotional, sometimes I don't. But anyways, I just thank God for you and Penny for what y'all do for you. I didn't get to say it back in November when we delivered the turkeys and the dog food and other supplies that the church and the kennel needed. And the joy of joining in with you all on that. And it was such a blessing seeing the people come out and seeing that, you know, we just rolled up and delivered all these supplies to these people that was in need, and even pets as well. And you know, I'm just going to be honest with you. I was a little disappointed. You know, there's not as much youth showed up that day. But at the same time, I know sometimes people can't show up. But at the same time, though, I'm here to help back you all up if y'all need anything. And back when I was going to church, when I was a teenager, you know, my mother drug us to church. I was a member at Cloverleaf Baptist Church. That's where I got saved in 1980. Brother Fred Jenkins was the pastor at the time. To me, he was kind of a fire and brimstone pastor as well. He was a really good man, but I got saved at that church. Probably about a week after my sisters got saved, it was hard for me to get up out of that seat and come to that altar. And that used to be an altar there. It's not an altar there now. A lot of things changed during the years, but you know, I also remember being in the youth as well. You know, things that we've done, and I also remember those memories. You know, going to people's houses and helping the elderly out and helping the people that wasn't able to do some things. You know, clean up the yard, do a little painting. You know, and just joy that they had on their faces, you know, people coming out to help them, you know. And it just wasn't just church members, it was other people that maybe church members might have known, and, you know, we went over there to help, you know. And so, you know, I remember those things, and I just want to let y'all know, thank you all for what you all did in November. I look up to you all for doing that, and I know the people did down there as well, and, but anyways, thank God for His church, thank God for everybody in here. Hope I didn't step on anybody's toes or anything, but at the same time, though, we need to back our youth leaders up. You know, they need us, and we need to help this youth grow as well. And, you know, we need to be here. So, anyway, thank God for both y'all for what y'all do.
Alright, so while it would be nice to never have to go through any hard times in life, that would be really nice. We all know that we will. They're going to happen, it's just a fact of life. But as Christians, we also know another fact, that we can have joy no matter how hard things get. So when you lose your joy, remember where your hope comes from. Remember that it comes from God, and ask Him to fill you up with joy, and He will. He is your hope, no matter how dark life gets. He will be there to light you up with joy. And so now, Summer's got a song now.
who I am, but because of what you've done. Not because of what I've done, but because of who you are. The power quickly fading, here today and gone tomorrow. A wave tossed in the ocean, the vapor and the wind. Still you hear me when I'm calling, but you catch me when I'm falling, and you told me who I am. I am yours. I am yours.
So if nobody else has anything on their heart, then I'm gonna ask Brother Davis to come back up here.
Let's give the youth of Joe and Penny a hand for